Welcome back to another video. Today we're checking out Nioh 3 running on the Xbox Ally X. In this video I'm going to be showing you the gameplay and performance I received and the settings I'm using in order to achieve that. Now I want to be upfront right away. Nioh 3 is not an easy game to run on this handheld. Higher settings and lower wattage profiles do not work well here. For the majority of the testing of this game, I ran the system at 35 watt turbo mode while plugged in. If you're not plugged in, you could drop it to around 25 watts, which is going to be the max, but do not expect high frame rates or strong visual qualities. It is playable, but it's pretty much compromised at that. So after dialing everything in, I was able to maintain around the 40 FPS mark at 1080p. I did test 900p as well, but the image became noticeably muddy and blurry, which I personally do not enjoy. I prefer taking the slight FPS hit in exchange for a clearer image. This really does come down to preference, whether you value a higher FPS or better image quality. In terms of gameplay, the controls feel good, the text is readable, and the audio was never an issue. It took me around 30 minutes of tweaking the settings to land on something stable. If you find settings that work better for you on the Ally X, leave them in the comment section down below so that I, as well as everyone else, can benefit from them. During gameplay, I did not notice any major glitches or sudden frame drops. Moving between areas did not affect performance, and combat remained consistent even with multiple enemies on screen. Particle effects from abilities also did not have a major impact, which was a nice surprise. Some games, the FPS will just drop as soon as you set off a fireball or whatever. But once the settings are dialed in, performance stays fairly consistent. Now there is an in-game option that were on other games that I actually did recommend. However, it does not work too well within this game. It dynamically adjusts the resolution to maintain a frame rate. I tested it, but the consistent shift in image quality was too noticeable for me, so I just turned it off and stuck with a fixed setting. Speaking of settings, going to the visual settings within the menu, I'm going to have resolution set to 1920 by 1080. Like I mentioned, I had it at 900. I really didn't like it. You could try it for yourself and see if you do. In the advanced options, I have FSR 3.1 on, sharpness set to 1, dynamic resolution target set to 60, and then the minimum resolution set to 50 and max set to 65. Now if you want a cleaner image or you don't really mind sacrificing FPS, you can always set that up by 5 increments and see how that works out for you. Frame generation is off due to input lag, which is not ideal for a game like this, which relies on precise dodging and blocking, so just keep that in mind. On the next page, we have FPS dynamic adjustment off, like I mentioned before. HDR is off as well, post effects mostly left as shown. You can go ahead and check this out for yourself. Motion blur and vignette can be turned off if you prefer. And then I have the bloom set on. You could go ahead and copy this if you need to. Now for the advanced quality settings, everything is pretty much set to low with a few options set to standard. You could go ahead and copy these directly if you want a similar experience. As for the armory crate, I did have it set to 35 watt turbo throughout this entire video. I did test lower profiles like 17 watts, but the game just drops into mid 20 FPS range, which is not a great experience at all. Now I really don't recommend playing this game within wattage below 25 watts, and if you want, you could go into a manual tuning, set that to 22 watts with steps at 24 and then 30 for the max, and then that resulted in around the mid 30 FPS. Now 25 watts is what I'm going to say to use minimum. You can always go ahead and use the 35 watt turbo like I did, and that's going to be your best option, which is going to give you around the 40 to mid 40 FPS. Overall, Nioh 3 is a demanding game. I've seen reports of it running only on standard settings on a 4070 GPU for desktop, so expectations on a handheld should be realistic. It is playable on the Xbox Ally X if you're plugged in, but battery life on the go is going to be limited, especially since you have to have that maxed out. Let me know in the comment section down below if you're interested in this game, and if you do pick it up and find better settings or performance than what I'm showing here, please feel free to let me know in the comment section down below so that I and everyone else can benefit from them. That's going to be it for today. This was Nioh 3 running on the Xbox Ally X. If you haven't have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. If you want to check out any of the accessories and gears that I use on my handhelds, everything's linked in the description. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.